Very good morning everyone. This is the last lecture of unit number 4. Today we are going to complete the programs which are based on the unit number 4. Only one topic we have pending, that is called unformatted input output. We have to see 4 programs which is based on the unformatted input output. But before starting our today's session, I would like to recall our previous session which is based on the C++ stream classes. The C++ stream classes is nothing but it represents the input and output operations, or you can refer C++ stream as a series of bytes. Generally you are going to input data from source to destination, that is input to the output stream, and for source to the destination there are certain devices which you can use like keyboard, mouse or any other display units. Sometimes the unit may be referred as a file. Now there are two types of stream. One is called input stream and one is called output stream. Input stream is nothing but it is a source stream, and output stream is nothing but it is a destination stream. Now remember one thing, that when you are going to use input stream, at that time first of all you need to use input device. Then using input device you are able to input data into the input stream. Then that data is inputted in the program. When you are going to compile the program, it inserts data onto the output stream, and at last it displays your content onto the output device. So this is the representation of C++ stream. Now there are several C++ stream classes which you can use to perform the programs based on the C++. We generally use header file iostream.h to perform practicals based on the C++. The base class for any IO operations is iOS, and you can divide iOS into the IO stream, stream buff and O stream. Again, I stream and S stream can be formed using IO stream. You can use I stream with assign, IO stream with assign and O stream with assign. Remember one thing, that stream buff is used to have a stream buffer. When you want to work with the memory, at that time you can use stream buff. Now here is the explanation of different classes which we have explained in above figure. iOS is a base class for all the classes, and it is generally used to perform input and output stream classes. When you want to perform IO based operations like get function is there, getline function is there, or read function is there. So when you want to use such kind of functions which is related with the input functions, at that time you can use iStream class. When you want to use put or write function which is related with the OStream class, and when you include IOStream which derives the property of iStream, OStream and iOS stream. In that I have seen this particular representation through the figure, that iOS stream can be formed using iOS, iStream and OStream. So iOS, iStream or iOStream, iOS, OStream, iOStream. In this way you can represent the classes. And last class is called stream buff, which provides buffer for the interface to physical input or output device. Now there are two types of IO operations you can perform. Number 1, formatted IO. Number 2, unformatted IO. Now programs which are related with the formatted IO we have already seen. How many types of functions we have seen using formatted IO? That is width, precision, then fill, setf, unsetf. These 5 programs which we have already discussed. Number 1, width. Number 2, precision. Number 3, fill. Then setf and unsetf. These 5 are the functions which we have already used during the practical session, and in this particular setup function we have explained and seen that using iOS base field you are able to use different parameters like iOS decimal, iOS octal, iOS hexadecimal. Generally it is used to display different kinds of number format. Now last thing we have seen is manipulators. Manipulators is nothing but when you want to directly use any functions using cout statement, at that time set w, which is responsible for setting of width, set precision, which is responsible for the fraction point after the decimal point, and set fill is used to fill empty space with the help of specified symbol. But when you want to perform the practicals based on the manipulators, at that time compulsory you need to include iomanip.h header file. Then and then only you are able to use the following functions. So this is all about our previous session. In our today's session we are going to learn the practicals based on the unformatted IO operations. In that, first function which we need to see, that is cout and cin. So now remember one thing, that cout and cin are the part of unformatted input output. So if there is a question asked in the exam that write the functions which are related with the unformatted input output, at that time you need to mention the first function is what? Cin and cout. Now we discuss this theory while we have started with the working of cin and cout. Cin is used to input a value from the keyboard and cout is used to print message on the screen. And when you want to use this both function, at that time you need to include header file iostream.h. When you are going to use input operator, which is also referred as a extraction or double greater than operator. Similarly, when you are going to use output operator, which is referred as insertion operator or double less than operator, and which is the class you used for input, that is called iStream, and for output we are going to use OStream class. Now any example which you like, that you can write in the example of cout and cin. Here we have taken the example of number. User is going to input number from the keyboard and that number we are going to print on the screen. This is the very simple program which we can write when cout and cin can be written in the unformatted IO operations. So this is the first program of our today's session. Let us perform the practicals based on the cout and cin, which we have already done in our previous video. First of all, let me give the comment line. Example of unformatted input output. Include 2 header files. Now void main, just declare one variable, integer number, cout, enter number, cin number, cout we are going to print number on the screen, you enter and number variable. Let me save the program. This is the program based on the unformatted input output. So U1, U stands for unformatting, so I have taken u1.c++. Now when you are going to execute the program and you enter number 5, at that time it will print you enter F5. So unformatted input output is nothing but when your data is not there in the proper format. At that time, that concept is known as unformatted input output, and cout and cin is a part of unformatted input output. Remember one thing, that theory related with the cout cin, that you can easily write that when you want to use cout and cin function, at that time you need to include iostream.h. It is extraction or insertion function, double less than or double greater than is used. iStream or OStream is a class which can be used for cout and cin. So this is the first program which is based on the unformatted input out. Now the second program of unformatted input output, example of unformatted input output, include two header files, iostream.h and has include conio.h. Or you can write one more comment line, example of get function and put function. Generally these two are the functions you can use when you want to work with a single characters, when you want to get single character from the keyboard, or when you want to print a single character on the screen. At that time you can use get and put function. Let us implement the structure of void main. Now see, when you are working with a unformatted IO, at that time no need to use get ch function, otherwise you will not get proper output. So right now I am going to use clear screen only. I am going to avoid get ch function use. Right now, first of all, let us print the message enter character. Now with the cin we are going to use get function, and inside get, in which variable you want to input single character. So over here I have taken data type character, and one variable I have taken, that is ch. So with cin function I am going to use dot get and the name of variable. Now when you want to print that function, at that time you need to use cout.put and then name of variable. So using get you are able to get single character from the user, and using put you are able to print a single character on the screen. Let me give comment line over here. Get function is used to get single character. Similarly, put function is used to print single character. Now I am not going to use get ch function over here, so avoid it to use over here. We will see the output of this program by pressing Alt F5 afterwards. Right now let me save the program number 2 regarding unformatted. So I am going to give you 2 over here. Okay, now let us execute the program. Enter character, I am going to input A from the keyboard. Okay, the screen is available over here. Now alter F5 to see the output. So over here we have taken the example of unformatted input output. In first program we have taken the example of cout and cin. In next example we have taken get and put function. Get is responsible to get single character from the screen, and put is responsible to print a single character on the screen. Get can be used with the cin function, and put can be used with the cout function. And one more thing you need to remember is what? No need to use get ch function over here. So you need to avoid it while you are working with a unformatted input output. Now let me take one new file. This is the third program which is based on the unformatted input output. Example of unformatted input output. Over here we are going to see three different functions: getline, write and gcount. These three are the functions which we are going to see. Has include iostream.h, has include conio.h, and we are going to work with a string, so I am going to take has include string.h. Now void main clr scr and get ch. We are not going to use get ch again, so better to avoid it. Now character ch of 25, integer I equals to 0. Now see, suppose I am going to use enter character in ch, and I am going to print ch on the screen. Let me save the program first. Unformatted 3.c++. Now my question is what? See, I have printed message enter character. Right now I am going to input enter string, say for example. So we are going to input hello world over here, right? So it will store inside ch, right? So now when you are going to print ch on the screen, at that time what will be the output? Can you predict the output when I am going to enter hello world from the screen? At that time what will be the output of this program? Let me execute the program. Hello space world. Now see the output. It will only print hello. Why? Because when space is found in the cin statement, at that time it will truncate that string. That means when you are having some space in between two words, at that time it will not consider the second word over here. So this is the limitation of cout and cin. So over here I am going to give the comment line when user input hello world, it will only print hello. Space will be truncated. That means after space it will not consider any data. So this is the limitation of cout and cin. So for such purpose we are having getline function, enter string cin.getline. Now in which you want to store data, getline ch, and then how many characters you want to enter, that is number of characters. So cin.getline, then name of variable in which you want to store the data, and how many number of characters, maximum number of characters you can store. So over here I have mentioned 20 characters I will store. Now when I equals to cin.gcount, at that time it will count the number of characters available in the cin. In cin, suppose I am going to input hello world. So total number of characters in the hello world would be of 11, including this particular space. 5 characters for hello, 5 characters for world, and 1 character for the space. So total 11 characters would be stored inside variable I. So over here let me give comment line. It returns number of characters extracted by the last unformatted input. Over here extracted means we are going to separate. So over here we have get the last G count and total number of space would be of 20. Now after that we are going to print that variable. So over here total number of character is and variable I and backslash n. So with the help of I variable we are able to get the total number of character from the last unformatted input. So over here how many number of characters we will get? That is of 11, and maximum number of character we are able to store will be 20. Now if I want to print that character again on the screen, at that time I have write function, then name of variable, that is ch, and how many characters I want to print? strlen ch. So it will return 11 characters, so it will write 11 characters on the screen. Let us execute the program by pressing Ctrl F9. Hello world, Alt F5. Total number of characters is 12. 12 over here is why? Because the last character of any string would be of null. Over here last character is null. So total 12 characters it will return. 11 characters for hello world and one more character for the null space. So in this way you are able to get the output on the screen. I am going to repeat this program once again. See, when you are going to use cout and cin, at that time when you enter hello world from the string, at that time what happens? It will only print hello. Why? Because after the space whatever the content would be, it is going to be deleted. To avoid such kind of problem, you are having getline function as well as write function. What is the syntax of getline? You just need to write the name of variable and the size of characters which you want to store. It is a kind of array only, right? So first of all give the name of variable in which you want to insert the data and then space of the variable. Over here I am going to input hello and world, and the last character of this particular variable would be of null. Now what is the use of gcount? Gcount is responsible to count the number of characters available from this particular IO. So over here hello world and space which is of 11 characters, and any string the last character would be null. So 11 plus 1, that is of 12. So I contains 12. Total number of character is 12, that is printed on the screen. Again it will move on to the next line. The write is a function through which you are able to print a message on the screen. I want to print the value of ch variable, and the length of that variable is what? Then strlen and the size of ch. If you don't want to write this at that time like this, you can put a static number like 20, right? So it will occupy 20 space in the memory, but it may be possible that after 12 digit remaining 8 space would be of any garbage value. That can be possibility, but right now we are going to use strlen, and for that I have used string.h function over here. So basically right now we have seen 7 functions which are related with the unformatted input output. In first program we have taken the example of cout and cin. You can take any example which is based on the cout and cin. In second program we have taken the single character put and get on the screen, and in third program getline, write and gcount. These three are the functions which is related with the unformatted input output. I have explained the limitation of cout and cin, so you can use getline and write function to avoid such kind of problem, and gcount is responsible to count the number of characters which is entered by the previous unformatted input. Last program of today's session, which is related with the unformatted input output. Example of unformatted output include two header file, iostream.h, and has include conio.h. One more comment line we are going to use, that is example of ignore function. We are going to see the ignore function which may be asked in the 3 marks during the theoretical exam. Now void main, very easy program. Just you need to recall certain things. 3 variables I am going to declare as a character data type: first name, middle name and last name. Now over here cout, so we are going to enter first name, then middle name and then last name. So for that I am going to print enter first name, middle name and last name. Now f equals to cin dot get, so it will get single characters from the inputted string. After that I am going to use cin dot ignore. Over here I am going to write the syntax of ignore function: maximum number of extraction, comma delimiter. Delimiter means what? Which character you want to ignore, that delimiter you can use over here, and you need to use maximum number of extraction. Now over here cin dot ignore, maximum 30 characters I want to ignore, and in that I am going to ignore space over here. Again m equals to cin dot get, then cin dot ignore, again 30 characters and space I am not going to consider, and last name again cin dot get function. Now cout, your initials are first of all first name, then space, then middle name, again space, then last name. Now you can also use one function which causes buffer connected to the output stream. When you want to clear, at that time you can use fflush, cout.flush function, which will erase the data from the memory. This is the program which is based on the unformatted IO, program number 4. So u4 dot c plus plus. Let me execute the program first, then I will explain. I am going to input Krishna Vasudev Yadav. Alter F5, KVY. That is the first character of each word. Now how program is executed, that I am going to explain. Initially I have taken 3 variables for 3 different initials, that is first name, middle name and last name. First of all you need to input full name, right? So what I have included over here, Krishna Vasudev Yadav, right? Now what happens? Variable f contains cin.get. Cin.get means the single character from the screen. Now what is the single character on the screen? That is k. So f stores the variable value k. That is the first initial from the word Krishna. Now I am going to ignore what the 30 characters. In this 30 characters, if I found any space, so I am going to avoid the previous characters. So now my pointer would be on V. Let me repeat once again. cin.ignore is a function using which I can ignore. See over here, I have given space. So it will found for the space. In this particular string, in next 30 characters, if I found any space, so it will not consider the previous characters. Now my cursor would be on V. So again, M contains single character, cin.get. Now what is the value of cin? That is V. Again cursor will move into this line, and for the next 30 characters, if any space is found, yes, over here it will found one space, so it will truncate this string, and again my cursor would be on the variable y, and L contains y. So F contains K, M contains V, and L contains y. Your initials are, the value of F is K, the value of M is V, and value of L is y. So in this way the first character is printed on the screen, and after working with a string, you can erase it from the memory using flush function, which will clear the memory which is occupied by the previous variables. So for that, cout.flush function is used. Only in this program you need to remember that cin.ignore is a function through which there are 2 arguments. Number 1, maximum number of extraction, means up to how many numbers you want to find space, right? That delimiter. Over here any type of symbol you can use, but in string we generally put a space, so I have used space over here, and in this way you can work with unformatted IO operations. I am again going to repeat. In first program we have taken the example of cout and cin. In second program we have considered single character get and put from the keyboard and through the keyboard, and number 3, which is related with the unformatted IO, which contains getline, then write function, as well as in this particular program we have considered ignore. In previous program gcount is there and flush is there. So these all are the functions which are related with the unformatted input output. Let me share the notepad file for all the programs which we have performed during today's session. This is the first program which represents unformatted input output, and the output you need to write in the journal. One more thing you need to keep in the mind, that when you are going to work with a unformatted IO, at that time no need to write getch function, because we are working with a unformatted input output. Next is a program which represents get and put function. Always give the comment line as I have given in the program, so that while you are reading for an exam, at that time you can easily get the concept. Let me share the third file, which represents getline, write and gcount function. This is the most IMP program we can say regarding unformatted input output. And again, over here the limitation of cout and cin is there. When you enter hello world from the screen, at that time it will only print hello, because after space it will not able to store the value. To remove such kind of problem, you are having getline function through which you can store the values which contains space. gcount is a function which will count the last unformatted input characters, and over here write is a function through which you are able to print the number of characters on the screen. And over here we have used strlen function, so for that you must need to include string.h as a header file. So this is the third program based on the unformatted input output. Now last program of today's session is all about ignore function. Ignore function contains two arguments. First is called maximum number of extraction and second is called delimiters, which you want to find. Over here I want to find space, so with the ignore function I have used space, and maximum number of characters I want to find, that I need to write over here. Over here we also have mentioned flush function, because flush with the help of flush function we are able to clear the memory which is occupied by the character or string data. So this is all about the programs which are related with the unformatted input output. Over here we are going to complete the unit number 4. In our next video we are going to start with the unit number 5, which is the last unit of our syllabus. Up till there, stay home, stay safe. Goodbye everyone. Thank you all.